Here at Addington on show day, catching up with Robert Dunn. Firstly, welcome to Campbell's Comments, mate.
Thanks, mate. And you don't mind me calling you Cambo. We had another famous Cambo, Michael.
I don't mind at all. He was a good golfer, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind at all. So it's good when you know my name, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. No, well, in case I ran into you again, because I thought if I don't know your name, I'll probably have to shout you a beer. And if other way around, you shout me.
It's a little in joke, but it might have cost you about 4 or 5 phone calls to find out my name, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Mate, firstly, I must say well done to the stable, what you've been able to do. Bach getting the jockeys there before, but well done.
Yeah, thanks. He's a little bit of a trick. When we first got him, he used to break for no reason as a young horse, so we gave him a spell, brought him back same again. And when he started racing, he still did it on and off, and I think he'll grow out of it. But boy, he was dodgy around that last Showgrounds Bend, and he lost him at the half.
Yeah, but he got him. He's okay.
He got him, and he's a strong staying horse. I think he's a Derby horse because if he gets a run and draw, he gets a draw for a starter, and he gets a soft run, he can stay and he can sprint. And if he's on the fence following something, he'll be right there in the Derby.
While we're quickly talking about horses there, Highgrove, he's just a bit of a head scratcher for you guys at the minute.
He is now. Johnny thought he might have shut his wind off today. He said he was trotting real good and just went bang in one stride. We're going to scope him in a minute to find out. And we had a lot of virus at the stables, as you know, first time ever at the beach. Get it in Auckland a lot. Not down here, but it's been a rotten one this time round. We've got horses that are coming right, then race really good and then go downhill straight away. So we'll check him out and find out.
Plus the fires, there could be a number of reasons, really, couldn't there?
Absolutely. It was a hard week, a real hard week. And look, I'm just amazed to the response we got from everybody locally, and people from as far as 50k away came to help us out. It was amazing.
It was indeed. I got to say thank you and well done to you guys. Make me feel welcome. Johnny has never said no. Gives me the time, showed me around the place. I spent a couple of hours there, and that I think the way you guys welcome me, but all the Aussies, I think makes this week what it is, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I've travelled a lot in Australia, and now I worked in America when I was young, and never experienced what I've experienced when I've been lately with Dex a couple of times. And the same in Australia. Everywhere I went in Australia, Australians were fantastic to me. I raced master in every state bar for Adelaide. And they're fantastic people, and the Americans are the same, and us Kiwis are the same as well. It's a great sport we've got.
I think it is, and I think it's one part we probably should sell better, is how open and how much fun it is to be in harness racing. It is a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and one of the things about harness racing people, we're not saying different to other people, we're very modest people. We're modest, and there's no pretense about us at all. We're hardworking. We enjoy each other's company, and we enjoy anybody else's company that joins the group. So it's a great industry to be in.
You must be proud of the job like John, Jenna do, the way they turn their horses out. Like, as I said, it was a real eye-opener, and I was just talking to a person there before when I came here and just saw the presentation, the professionalism that they do, winning races or not. You're leading by example about how you send your horses out there and the appearance that you guys put them out there on the track. Yeah,
thanks. We've done that all our lives, really. I learned off a couple of really good trainers, Jack Smolensky, Kevin Ryder, Jim Delgetty. Turned their horse out terrifically well, fed him well, good stockman, taught me really well when I first came into the game. We're pretty proud of the way we turn our horses out, and we try to keep the high level up all the way through. Look, funny enough, we've had 2 visits from MPI in the last 6 months where some Joe Blows said that we're not looking after our horses very well. So I had the inspector come out, and both times was a woman inspector and different ones, and they've just watched Jenna. Luckily, Jen's been there both times, and she's brought our horses in. She's watched our operation. They've looked at how our horses look, and they both signed it off within about 5 minutes. So we're proud of that too, but we're disappointed that people would actually go their way to do that.
It's part of society in the way it is. As a parent, firstly, the way Johnny's presenting himself, that you must be so proud.
Absolutely. He's been, from a little fella, he's been on my shoulder. From the time he was 3.5, couldn't walk really. He was over, put his little head between the hole and the gate. As soon as we worked the horse, he's straight through, and he's on right with me every day of his life as a young kid, growing up. And we've got a great rapport with the two of us. He's been a super kid.
The interview I did with him the other day, he said about his love of going to America. Does that excite you, the fact that he's entertaining the thought of going over there and having a crack at the training ranks?
Well, funny you say that, because when Dex said to me, I'm thinking of going to America, Dad. And I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, why, buddy? Because you're the best here, and you can go to Australia. He said, no, I just want to give it a crack. So I said, well, okay, so you go. And, of course, what's happened's happened. And then I've got a gut feeling that when Johnny goes to see him next year in the Hambo, that Johnny will be coming home and Jen and sitting me down and saying, listen, old fella, we can see greener pastures here. I'm hoping not at the moment, but if he wants to do it, he has to do it.
I think it's a great itch to scratch, and I was rapt that he shared it with me, and I know there's been a bit of feedback. A lot of people were aghast. Obviously, you had a little bit of an inkling, maybe not, he may not have told you, but a fatherly inkling maybe by the sounds.
No, when I come back from Kentucky, I said to my partner, Robin, I said, when Dex goes over, when Johnny goes over and Jen for the handball, I said, I know what they're going to come back and say. She said, well, you should have been give them your blessing. And I said, I will, but, I think, and Johnny said to you, I think, he'd rather train. And the two boys have got this unbelievable bond. So when Dex was born, he's 6 years younger, somebody said to Rose, their mother, Laura, their older daughter, it must be great having Laura help, because she was 8 at the time. And he said, Laura, she doesn't get a look, and it's Johnny. Johnny does everything. He feeds him, he does his nipe diapers, he looks after him. And so there's that bond. It's an amazing bond, and they're just the best of mates. And I can see if he goes over, Johnny might train and Dex might drive it. You don't know.
Proud parents, and I think every right to be. Do you sit back and work, smile? I don't know what you do. Do you smile, or how do you take what Dex is achieving on the world stage, and not just he's been over there for a few years now? It's not just 1 or 2 weekends. It's nearly every weekend he takes out a feature race or a good race on the feature race card. Everyone that goes over there just says he's just doing an amazing job. How does that make you feel as a dad?
Well, it does. It makes you feel special. You know that. Special of all your children, as you have. You got your daughter, and that. Everybody loves their children. Excelling. And if they don't excel, they still love them for whatever they want to do in life. Dex was, I think, born to be a driver. My mate down South, Stewie Campbell, said one day when Dex just started driving, we had a great rugby union first five called Daniel Carter, world class, and he had all the time in the world. Daniel Carter had he got the ball and he had more time than the other first five to be able to do something with it. And Stewie rang me up and he said, he's the Daniel Carter of harness racing. He said he's got so much time in a race, it's amazing. He never hardly does a thing wrong, and I'm pretty proud of the two boys really, Cambo, that I reckon in all their careers, if you said they've had 2 suspensions, that'd be it. And that's pretty fantastic in all the number of drives they've had. And the number of fines they've had for various things would be less than 5. And I reckon that the thousands and thousands of drives, because I did teach them when they started driving, I said, boys, there's one thing I want you to do. Respect your fellow drivers. Don't get in their way, and if you can't win a race, don't try and hold them back. Give them a bit of a run. Look after yourself on the track and look after your fellow drivers. If you can do that, you'll go a long way.
I think you guys are leading by example. Fortunate enough to watch Johnny at the races. He's a little bit anal. He doesn't like tape left on the ground or anything else like that. But he's always doing. But the other thing he's always doing, young Rory McWillick won the race there before, walked out of his way to pat him on the back, say, well done, mate. I think that makes it so much special as well. I'm sure he's got some people that he doesn't do it to and all the rest, but it just gives a good vibe. And I think the big guys leading from example makes the sport so much better, and that's what I've enjoyed so much about it. Such a positive place to be, and it's just been so much fun here.
You think Johnny's anal about tape on the ground? You went to meet Dex. Now he goes another dimension again. I got to tell you the story. So we're going down to Kentucky, and when you got a cup full of coffee and you take your first sip, a little bit just pops out the top. It doesn't go down the cup; it just pops out the top. So he's driving the car, and we're heading down, 11-hour trip, and he goes, look, he looks down, he says, geez, RJ, come on, sharpen up. He sort of doesn't stop the car. He looks down, he gets his cloth, because he's got cloths everywhere, gets my coffee cup, and he's going, now that's anal.
He's got an issue, but it's good. Mate, you wear a lot of hats, you do a lot of things here in Harness Racing New Zealand, you're a great ambassador, well done. And I also love your hats. You had a different hat on every day, and I love them, and I'm very, very jealous of them.
What about my jacket?
Oh, yeah, you always look dapper.
Yeah, because I tell you what, this jacket here, I've had a lot of compliments about it, from in America especially, and here today. But I've got to say, I was in the sales ring at Lexington, and the bid spotter, he walked past after about that was a big occasion. It was a big first night, so all the big priced horses. And he walks past, and he's coming up the aisle. It didn't stop. He just looked down. He said, "Love your jacket."
Well, it is a beautiful jacket, but I love your hats. I'm a bit of a hat man, and you've had a different hat on every day, and I think it's well done. I will say too, from an Australian to a Kiwi, the way all participants here over this Cup week have presented, even to Kaikoura, just the way people have presented is outstanding. I love it. I want the Australians to lift their socks up, rise to the occasion, try and dress a little bit like yourself and Cran, and really showcase what our sport's about. It's fun, it's a family sport, and it's enjoyable. So well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. We love having you. Can you come back next year?
I'm coming back next year, and we'll sit down and have tea the first night we meet.
Good man.
Thanks, mate.